Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to deal with our second part of our fifth module, the safety in construction. It consists of three separate divisions. This is the video 1 that we are going to discuss, in which we will be discussing the syllabus. In video 1, we will be discussing on the general aspects of safety in construction, and in the second video, we will be discussing on the safety measures in different stages of construction, and the third one we will be discussing on the implementation of safety program. We all know the construction industry is fast growing in India since independence, and we all know that the construction activities across India is enormous. We all know that the social concern of the safety of construction workers and their protection against injury is one of the most important parameters that we are supposed to look through, and it is quite a very important requirement in our construction sites. So the importance of safety in construction industry is to be considered to be paramount because we employ the largest labor force, and also many of the occupational injuries, 11% of the occupational injuries, 20% of all deaths are resulting from occupational accidents. It is to be noted that the cost of accidents are very, very expensive. And economic cost is not only the only reason for which a contractor should be cautious of safety. Why the construction activities are hazardous? It is mainly because we have the largest single category for both injuries and fatalities, mainly because of the individual fault. And the second being the handling of goods. We all know the likely hazards that is been occurring in any construction sites are listed below. First one being the falling of persons from height, falling of materials from height, exposure of heat or cold condition, exposure to various radiations, exposure of contact with potentially harmful substances, contact with electric current, overexertion, injury caused due to the projected reinforcement rods, which is inevitable in many of our construction sites, striking against objects, accident due to lifting equipments, loose scaffoldings, machinery, tunneling. So falling of materials would be there, and in tunneling itself we will come across many poison or gassing or toxic materials, especially in sewer pipelines and all. We will come across these type of hazards, and impact, noise and excavators. When the causes of accidents have been discussed, we have to come across three major causes. One, because of technical causes, second by means of human causes, and the third by the management factors. Out of which the technical causes is mainly because of the unsafe conditions by mechanical factors or environmental factors, and the human causes is mainly because of unsafe acts, mainly because of the attitude that the human beings have, and that is variance according to the person, so that comes under personal factors. We come across these type of situations in our construction site. Many persons working in a larger heights, now they have all worn their personal protective equipments. We will find many machines running overhead about us, and we will come across, even though a person has worn all sorts of its PPE, if anything goes careless, we end up with such a mishap. And these many PPEs are very, very essential in any construction sites. Why a contractor should be so cautious? It is mainly because of the humanitarian concern. We all know that the accident, when happens, it results in the greatest suffering of the injured workers, their families, and it is it cannot be compared with any or it cannot be quantified in terms of economic terms. So we cannot ignore, a contractor cannot ignore if he has insurance against any accidents. And economic reasons would be, during an accident, the entire cost that the persons incur is mainly from the hands of the contractor itself. And moreover, when he claims for an insurance, we have an additional increase in the premiums. And apart from all this, we also have something known as indirect costs resulting from the accidents. How can we classify the construction accident? Construction accidents could be classified by means of, or that occurs by means of, uncontrollable contact between men and equipment or between men and materials. The second would be the failure of temporary structures such as scaffolds, forms, ladders, etc. Inherent engineering hazards such as use of explosives, gas, toxic dusts, etc. Unsafe practice of individual workers, mainly because of their lack of knowledge and their attitude. Unsafe conditions of mechanical environmental factor. And apart from this, according to the frequency and intensity, the classification may also be as near accident, trivial, minor, serious, or fatal. So as we have already discussed, we have direct as well as indirect costs that incur to the contractor or the firm if any accident occurs. Some of the direct costs are mainly incurred by means of the medical care expenses for the injured, his compensation cost, insurance premium increases rapidly, replacement cost of equipments and materials which are damaged in accidents, not only that is directly in connection with the accidents, moreover some allied equipments may also go damaged which need also to be replaced, and facility repair as well as cleanup to bring back to the situation to a normal condition. We may have to spend a lot, and apart from all this, we may have to compensate for legal counsel also to take up the case. The indirect cost would be as follows. Probably this mishap would create a panic situation in the site and slows down many operations. Decrease in morale, and thereby that affects the productivity. And while an accident occurs, for a particular period of time, we may have to stop the products being generated. Thus, the productive time lost by the injured worker or the fellow workers would happen, and there would be administrative works associated with the accidents. We may have loss of clients. Sometimes the clients may say the contractor has to be removed, and that needs to it, and overtime necessitated by the work slowdown. So these are the indirect costs that occurs mainly because of accidents. What is the need for safety in construction? That is very important, that has to be discussed. It is a highly accident prone industry. Our construction industry is so. And working in a fearless protected environment makes the team more productive and efficient. So that is why safety in construction is most concerned. And it is one of the vital issues for any success of the project. The safety program that is being established in a company ensures the worker to be mentally and physically prepared to execute the job quickly, fearlessly, and efficiently. And safety is a way of life. It is the role of every individual at every time during the performance of any activity that he should be in a very safe environment, and also he should be in very much considerate of his fellow workers. What are the safety measures in different stages of construction? So the activities under health and safety management has been grouped under following stages. The first one would be pre-construction stage, wherein we have project development, planning and construction, and tender action being happening. And at the construction stage, very important, and during the commissioning and handing over stage. So all these three places we are supposed to have safety measures. In the pre-construction stage, what all things we are supposed to do? So any project that we take up, we have to review the project before the project management process are initiated. Assess the decisions that we are going to take and how to brief in the feasibility stage, and outputs such as overall planning, construction methods, etc. is to be importantly monitored before we enter into our construction stage. Upon reviewing, we should understand there are time frames which is kept aside and budget also to monitor the health and safety measures. And we also know that the management system which is proposed to be employed during construction. The health and safety management system of construction agency shall be established from the very first stage itself, and all our tender document should have some amount kept aside for this safety and management systems. Construction agencies should submit the project specific health and safety plan, and he should propose the methodology how he is going to do it and how competent he is going to be to execute the project in the safe manner. In construction stage, we should identify the aspects of design, and we should understand what all need to come under or what all be under this healthy and safety in the construction stage. And we should have proper time allowance for scheduling each activity and to implement the health and safety requirements in all the activities that we are going to do. Review the methodology of each activities and identify the hazard, and also assess the risk factor, which is very, very important. If the risk level is unacceptable, take additional control measures, revise the work methodology so that the identified risks are as low as reasonably practical level, and plan and establish facilities for implementation of health and safety, so that we should do regular training facility for workmen, and we should have proper medical checkup for through all health centers for the workers. We should have access to first aids, access control to the employees wherever necessary we are supposed to implement, etc. Ensure temporary establishments at the project site such as site offices, workmen camps, toilets, canteen, rest set, etc. And all this need to be placed or created in requirement with relevant statutes and standards. The project manager shall ensure that the construction agency who is going to execute the work has understood the challenges of the project, and he has planned to meet the project specific health and safety requirement, and if at all he is not capable of doing it, he can do it by means of appropriate competencies, even from hiring persons from outside. And they should be properly coordinated and reviewed to monitor, and if required, appropriate guidance has to be received from owner or client or even through a consultant. Project manager of construction agency shall ensure the subcontractors which is going to employ also is capable of meeting the health and safety requirements of the type of project that he is going to execute. And during commissioning and handing over stage, we should review the process, do effectiveness study over this health and safety measures that we have done, and review it again and again. And this experience and recommendations can be utilized over the operation and maintenance stage of the project after, and it has to be documented so that it can be utilized in similar such projects in the next stage. So in the next presentation, we are going to deal with specifically what all types of projects are there, and for all this project, how the safety implementations can be done. Thank you.